And you are listening to The Price of Business, where we talk about you and your business. And certainly right here in Houston, you may know the name Roseann Rogers. She is with us right now, and Roseann is with a company called Stewart Title. How about that, Roseann? Welcome to the show.
Thanks. What an opening you just gave me. ZZ Top. I mean, I just saw them at the rodeo. They're one of my favorite all-time groups. I feel so privileged at what an opening I got to your show.
Just for you, indeed.
Thank you.
Well, look, people may not know, and already some know because there's literally many years, and that's Stewart Title. You're in your, third week already?
It's true. This is my third week at Stewart Title. I'm very excited. I'm the new sales manager for the Houston division, so I oversee all the business development offices in the Houston area and surrounding areas as well. It's very, very exciting because it really puts together all my skill sets that I've had for so many years. And yes, branding, marketing, sales, management, you name it, it's all rolled into one. And it's a very exciting time to be part of the company and part of what's happening in the real estate market as well.
It's a wonderful time in the real estate market, and the word excitement can be used over and over. And I'm picturing, Roseann, now that you are on board, I'm seeing that those numbers go, that spike in the numbers is already starting. I could see it right now.
Yes, that's my certain plan, and no pun intended, but yes, we do create a buzz, and that's something that's just so exciting. It's about being part of a great company and a positive workforce and being very productive. And there's so many great people who work for the company, and they've been so gracious in me because obviously, in any industry, there's always a learning curve, which is good because if you're creative and innovative and if you're building your business, you have to always want to be able to learn and need to learn. And when that learning stops, then you know what? It's stagnant. Your business isn't going anywhere. You're not growing it. You're not enhancing it. And that learning process is so, so important and so critical in anyone's business, no matter what you do. And that's why it's so exciting to be part of Stewart Title at this time. But it always gets me, too. I've lived so many places around the Houston area. I'm going back to where I even started, my beginning when I came to Houston. When my husband and I first got married, our very first house we bought in Friendswood, little one-story house in Autumn Creek behind Kroger in Friendswood, and we closed with Stewart Title. Isn't it interesting how life comes full circle?
That's very interesting, and I have to put in my own full circle story there. In 1982, my first job, I was officing at 4801 Woodway. And
yes.
Now, these many years later, I live in walking distance to my first office. You're right. Things come around in a circle in a way. And Stewart Title, we've been in business when we talk about years and people, and we thank all the people that have closed at Stewart Title if they're listening right now.
Mm-hmm.
But we started over 123 years ago. Many people don't know that in Galveston, Texas. Here we are so strong these many years later with the privilege of serving people far and wide in Houston and beyond.
Well, the great thing about this is, yes, starting in Galveston, I get to spend a lot of my time in Galveston because we have two offices there, downtown and also on the West End. And I have always loved Galveston. Don't get a chance to spend as much time in the past that I have been wanting to, but now I do. So that, for me, is just so critical and important because I am looking forward to spending more time in that area. And I love history. And Stewart Title has so much history. When I was down at the Galveston office, it is a museum. You will see papers that date back to the turn of the century. There's articles and contracts that Sam Houston himself signed. I mean, it is his signature on documentation. There's pictures that really depict Houston history. Now, Houston's such a big new city. We always say we don't want the old. We are in with the new and out with the old because we want new and bigger and better. We are in the state of Texas, and things are bigger in Texas. But there's so much history, and I'm so excited that the fact that Stewart has preserved that so you can learn of how the city, really the foundation on how it was built. And Stewart was so integrated to help build this entire city as well, starting in Galveston. And people don't understand the history. And for me as a history buff, it was just, I was in awe, basically, because it's such a great place to really learn how our foundation and what the city and how it was truly built. And Stewart was integral in making Houston what it is today.
Indeed. Also, another thing, when we talk about history, I want to reference the PBS special that you can find on YouTube. It's called Post Oak, I think it's a Texas legacy, and it's the story of Post Oak, Robert Sakowitz, Stewart Morris Sr., Stewart Morris Jr., his daughter is on there talking about that intersection of Post Oak and Woodway and how it once was just a farm road. And
yes.
so we are tied.
Farmland. There was nothing there.
That's right.
A couple of trees maybe, and that's it, and some dirt.
Well, let's put a word out, if you would. You've visited all the Houston branches by now, so let's tell people some of the things that you've seen and the way that we are able to serve not just the buyers and sellers there, but put a word out to realtors, because realtors, they're so important in choosing the title company, and those that I think don't use Stewart Title, truly they are missing out. So let's give a word about the Houston picture.
I think the biggest thing is relationships and building those relationships and people that truly care. What has been astounding to me, especially coming from a media background, where we're also used to being on these contracts that are 3 or 4 years, and you move to a bigger market or you go somewhere else. And in this day and age, because of the environment and also the work culture, people are moving around because they don't have a choice. It's just the way they could be a victim of circumstances, right? Because companies, either reintegrate, they're getting bought by others, and you move and shift. But to me, it's fascinating about people who work for Stewart. This is their company. They have honor, they have pride in where they work. And everyone practically that I've met has been with the company over 10 years. Some 22. I met a woman the other day who's been with Stewart Title for 47 years.
Wow.
And the first thing I said was, what are you taking? I want to look like you. Okay. But, I mean, do you talk about pride and joy in where you work? And what you've invested to stay with a company that long says a lot about the company and the reputation of the company itself and how the company treats its employees. And I don't think it's one of those things that Stewart believes. I mean, yes, you're an employee of Stewart Title, but you're more than that. You're family, and you belong to us. And this is a company, and that to me, having so much pride and joy in where you work and going to work every day and helping other people achieve their dreams when it comes to having a home and where they're building their life, and you can be a part of that, is something big. And that's what I found of visiting all the branches around the Houston area, is the pride that people have for the people that they work with.
That's right.
It's been extraordinary.
And this radio host, and I know you right now, we run to work in the morning because I can't wait to get there, because it's just it's this first time I could say this in my life. It's really a lot of fun. But we're serving realtors out there, and the realtors around the city, I think we have such loyal customers from the realtor standpoint, the buyers and sellers, and we appreciate them. But I would put the word out, if you haven't closed at Stewart lately, it is really a tremendous experience, and we invite you to do so.
You've just said it, Bill. And I will tell you, because, I do have my real estate license, and just for professionally, but also personally, my husband and I have moved around the city because of, his job, because of situations, family situations. We've moved around a lot. We've bought a lot of houses, and I've done a lot of closings. And personally, and so the experience is so critically important from inception to completion, and that's what really makes the difference. And so it is the experience that people have, and the realtors, and having those relationships, and the fact that I have a real estate background too. I certainly can appreciate all the hard work that certainly goes into what they do and how they do it, and how long it sometimes takes to get to closing. So the closing is the ending. It's the ending. It should be a celebration, right? The closing is a celebration, and Stewart Title wants to make that celebration what it's supposed to be in that experience. So you can walk away and go into your new home and have pride and joy, and can't wait to have your friends and family over.
That's right. There's so many components that come together. It's like a Swiss watch, and we celebrate it when we open the box and turn on the watch. But give us a word too, as you have been around to, and I do want to say this. We're talking about the Houston area. People hear this show far and wide, and certainly Stewart is an international company, traded on the stock exchange. STC is the symbol. We're around the other parts of the country and beyond. But tell people another word, Roseann, about your experience. You've visited all the branches, and we could say coast to coast, but we could say Galveston to the Woodlands. So that's a pretty big area. Tell us another word about these branches.
For the one word that I think sums up all the areas that surround these 30 different branches that I'm part of and I'm working with on a daily basis is loyalty. Loyalty and trust. And that's what you look for when you are out looking for a title company to make this happen. And that's what I have found. and everywhere I've gone. I've spent lots of time, and I'll be going back on a regular basis. So you'll see me no matter where you live. If you're in Galveston, maybe even Beaumont. If you've got some Beaumont people, you'll see me in Beaumont as well. Friendswood, Texas City, League City, Kingwood, Cypress, you name it, I'm going to be there because it's so important, and this company is so important to everyone who is in the real estate industry. And we all have a passion for it. That's what we do and why people have stayed with this company so incredibly long, because they have a passion for what they're doing, and they truly want to help other people.
And Roseann, I'm going to create the tagline. I'm going to say it again. We run to work in the morning because it's just,
we do.
It's a great honor
wait.
and privilege to serve. Roseann, with the last minute or so, what else would you like people to know?
Well, I hope to see everyone out there. If you have any questions, you can always, contact me. You know where to find me at Stewart Title. And we are certainly all over social media as well. But I would love to hear from you. I think part of it is the communication. We want to know what you're thinking, what you're doing, what kind of experiences you've had, what if you want something different. But just know that there's an open door, and we're here for you. And however we can be a resource or help you in any way, all the realtors out there, we look forward to hearing from you, and I can't wait to see you. And I will be seeing a lot of you at your sales meetings coming up, which is great. I always like going to sales meetings. And
the website is Stewart.com. Roseann, how can people reach out to you?
Well, I think the best way, too, is you can always just email me. It's Roseann, Roseann, .Rogers, Rogers, at Stewart.com, or certainly just call any of our offices and say, I need to talk to Roseann, and they'll give you my number.
I like that. 2 R's.
They've got it.
Roseann Rogers. Roseann, it's an honor and privilege to work with you now. It took a little while, but we're glad you're here.
It took a little while, Bill, but you created the buzz a long time ago, and you still are every single day with you, and you do an excellent job on your show, and thanks so much for having me on today. I really appreciate it. It's even more special to me because I'm now officially part of Stewart Title.
Indeed, you are in the family. Ladies and gentlemen, Roseann Rogers, you are listening to The Price of Business. Bill Knapik here. Thanks for listening. Stay with us. We're coming right back with even more Roseann Rogers with Stewart Title, Stewart.com. Stay with us.